First thing I noticed is that the shrubs are overgrown. There's a lot of pine straw on the roof. The gutters on this end of the house here that you're looking at is clogged up. And anyway, I would definitely have him get somebody over here and clean that roof up and get those gutters cleaned out before it sets in raining. You're going to end up with a lot of mildew and maybe some roof problems there. But shrubs out front, most of the shrubs are dead or half dead. I would remove them all. No shrubs is better than dead shrubs. It's really hurting your curb appeal. Grass all looks good. It's just the shrubs are, as you can see, are pretty much gone. There's only a few of them that's still pretty decent looking. You know, you might leave, maybe leave one on transplant, two to, you know, frame the sidewalk, the entry coming up to the front door, and take the rest of them out. Just transplant a couple of them. Alright, inside. I've walked through the house already and turned on some lights for the purpose of this video. Everything looks to be basically in the condition, or what I would have expected considering the condition the house was in whenever you left here. I didn't see anything that really caused me any alarm. So I'm going to walk through the house, and I'm just going to kind of, you know, zip through each room and just kind of give you my opinion. First off, I think you're not going to want to mess with some of the things that I would recommend. So I would say if you wanted to get rid of the house, I would drop the price down, sell it as is. Price it where you can sell it quick, get out from under it, let somebody come in here and do the updating. Of course, you know, if you want to keep it and rent it, I would probably look into maybe coming in and replacing all the carpeted areas, maybe with something that will hold up good under renters, like a laminate flooring. You know, if you watch, you can find some good sales on laminate flooring. I'm going to estimate roughly, which I don't know about pricing in Longview, but up around where I'm at, if I were going to replace all the flooring in this house, I would anticipate on spending probably in the neighborhood of $6,000, because I've got like an account at Lowe's, and when you're doing big jobs, they'll discount you if you've got, basically if you're a contractor per se, someone in the business. So the countertops, if I were going to keep this house for a rental, I would not replace countertops. I would refinish them. There's a kit that Rust-Oleum makes that you can get that's relatively inexpensive, that you can actually refinish countertops and give them a more modern look. As far as the appliances go, you could get a decent appliance package and spend probably, that being a drop-in, I don't know, you could probably get an appliance package for around $1,200 if you decided to replace appliances. But for the purpose of a rental, I would probably replace the microwave, which would not be that much of an expense. You can get a good built-in, and that one being smaller, probably run you about $200-300 with installation or something in that area. I would maybe update the hardware on the cabinets. The cabinets are in good shape. I would not paint them. I think that takes away. I would just go over them with some, there's a little bit of buildup on some of them, so that's heavily used. I would just go over them, go with some Murphy's also, and then maybe back over it with the stain that's a gel, basically, that you can go back over and it'll fill in any nicks and stuff like that, and it's pretty inexpensive. But nonetheless, I don't really see, you know, there's a few little scratches here and there, but, you know, if you go back over it with the gel stain, after they're cleaned real good, you would likely, they look like brand new cabinets with some new hardware. I would probably go with a brushed nickel, or maybe one of the bronze tone, something to that effect, that's more updated and modern. Okay, this room here, if it were me and I were going to be either rehabbing the house or improving the house for a rental to bring the price point of around the $17.50 a month, what I would do is I would consider painting the brick and the cabinets in this particular room. And the reason for that is I think that'll open the room up, make it look a little bit bigger and a little bit more polished. And of course, you're already aware of the flooring. Quite honestly, if it were, I would probably do laminate in this room. I'd probably put a new linoleum, or even go with the laminate or tile, a cheap tile, like 60 cents a square tile in the kitchen. Laminate in here. I know the parquet is really nice, but I would take it out and carry the laminate on through to this area as well. And then I would find me some cheap builder-grade carpet that looks really pretty to go into the formal areas and in the bedrooms. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this tile here. It's a good neutral color. This room here, great size utility room. If I were going to be polishing up, the only thing I would recommend on it is maybe some touch-up paint, and the baseboards are very discolored, which, you know, you can't really tell once you got all your junk in here, but nonetheless, if I just little touch-up paint, nothing big. If you still got that paint color, if not, just slap a fresh coat of paint on it. This room, your first room on the left, the flooring in here looks good. Of course, you know that already. The only thing that I've seen in here that really, that I didn't know if was here when you left, is there's a crack above this door here. Looks like you got a little settling going on. And the door's a little tight to open and close. So, there. So anyway, I didn't know if it was like that before you left here or not. But in any event, if you decided to sell the property, that is a regular stress fracture. Probably caused because the house has probably not had the slab watered on a regular basis. So probably what I would do is touch up paint that, have someone adjust the door where it opens and closes smoothly, because that is not necessarily indicative of a foundation problem. However, your uninformed buyer, your green realtor might come in here and open and close the door and say, oh, this house has got some shifting going on. You know how that goes with those people. So, anyway, that's just very, very minor. And here you've got, looks like your taping and bedding's peeling back. And it's hard to see because the lighting's not great in here. But it's all along these walls here on the edge. You've got a lot of that going on. And then this sheetrock here, if you can see the seams starting to pop on it a little bit. Again, nothing more than regular settling, nothing that even would alarm me, but an uneducated person, that would alarm them. They might think the house is unsound. So typically that sort of thing can be easily fixed, by a professional painter or a good handyman. The carpets in the bedrooms are in good shape, but of course you've got this dust edge around where it's stained all the way around the walls. Alright, the master bedroom, the one that Steve harped on the flooring so bad. At first look, I walk in, I'm thinking, oh, this isn't so bad. But of course, the traffic area around the bed is pretty bad. And there's some spots and stuff in the carpet. And for the price point that we're talking about here, you can see the dust stain along the wall. But for the price point that we're talking about here, that might be a discouraging point for someone. Again, in this room here, you've got these settling cracks. And you've got up here where you've got the taping for the taping bed on the sheetrock in the corners is starting to bubble and pull loose a little bit. So, closet, fresh coat of paint. Again, again, you have these things going on here where you're getting these pops coming in. Most people would look at this and say, oh, this house is in, well, most people look at it and say the house needs a lot of updating, but someone like myself and somebody that knows what they're looking at would look at the house and say this house is in really good shape for its age. It's just cosmetic. Here you go again with the pops. So, anyway, in essence, if I were going to come in and redo this house, it'd be new flooring, a fresh coat of paint, in some of the secondary areas. I would freshen up replace some of the, well, if I was going to try to rehab, resell, I would replace the appliances. However, if you were going to rent it, I would just probably replace the microwave, because that's typically, you know, that's the thing that really stands out on the wall. The other, you can do something. Old dishwashers in houses are not uncommon. As far as the stove goes, you know, if you did a little bit of staging in the kitchen, you would actually distract from the older appliances. Okay, to the backyard. There's a little something I want to show you out here. Say hi, Dee. Devin actually noticed this as soon as we pulled up into the carport. You've got a shingle, looks like maybe the wind got up under it, and it looks like the staples pulled up under it too, but you got a shingle that's popped up right up there, probably just from wind damage. This shrub here is all grown up against the house and over the side of the gutter. And these bushes up here is all overgrown. So anyway, rough little video, but that's about it. Nothing of great concern. Of course, if you did want to rent it and you wanted to rent it more with it as is, I would probably drop the rents down to, consider dropping the rent down to about $1,500 a month, and you can probably rent it even in the market with the way Steve says it is. And that would, if it were me, I don't know. If it were me and I had to make a decision on what to do with the house, I would probably try to rent it as it is, dropping the monthly rental to be able to market to buyers that's not so picky, or market to renters that's not so picky. And then I would probably do a cash out, pull the money out, and go buy, you know, use that to leverage and buy 2 or 3 more houses and create additional cash flow. That's what I'd do if it were me. This window here, I don't know if it was like this when you left, but it's clouded. I just noticed that. I'll look and see before I leave here and see if there's any other windows that's got moisture in them and that's clouding as well. So anyway, that's about it.